Delhi's Army Hospital Research and Referral, popularly known as RR Hospital, is one of the finest and most advanced hospitals of India, catering to all the three defense services. It is also responsible for looking after the health and well-being of the President of India, who is also the Supreme Commander of all the armed forces.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, sir.
First of all, congratulations on completing your ground selection test.
Thank you, sir.
I'm Lieutenant Colonel Ranjit Nair. I'm a nephrologist, and Major Aarti Sahni. The two of us are going to be coordinating the conduct of your medical examination. The medical examination for an officer candidate is basically done not just to detect any disease. We also aim to try and detect disabilities, which, though currently unobvious, can be unmasked later because of the stress and strain that military service puts on the individual. You would be surprised to know that the average rates of rejection on medical grounds almost reaches 30%. That means out of every 100 candidates, almost 30 candidates do not make it.
In all the previous tests, the candidates knew how well or badly they have performed. But here, they just don't know. They're all here because they did well in the selection tests. But what about their body? Seasoned hands helped by sophisticated testing and diagnostic equipment are out to detect even the slightest abnormality.
183. There are basic standards of height that have been mentioned. The weapons that are available are made for a particular body structure. An individual who is shorter than 153 centimeters may not be able to handle the standard weapons. Similarly, various other things like the trenches, the dugouts which are there, are of particular dimensions. Thereafter, we look at the respiratory system, we examine the chest, we look for the shape of the chest, we examine the circumference of the chest and look for how well the chest can be expanded with a single breath. Take a deep breath.
The chest has to expand sufficiently to breathe in enough air. This is necessary as a soldier has to walk, run, trek, carry battle loads and climb mountains. If he fails to inhale enough oxygen, he would get exhausted in no time and turn into a liability for his buddies. Also, the air is thin at high-altitude battle zones, which means there is less oxygen. If someone's lungs are not expanding to the optimum, he shall suffer oxygen deprivation. This would seriously compromise his own safety as well as his battlefield performance.
The surgeon basically looks at the external genitalia, the limbs, if the bones are all right. Say supposing people have knock knees or people have toes which are hammer toes or claw toes, or their toes are like deviated from the normal. These are all reasons for making these candidates unfit. Thereafter, they are supposed to look at the way the limbs are angled.
Check to kuch kar rahe the, definitely. Very serious mahol inside. I told him I'm nervous, but there was no response from him.
Both hands on your chest. Lift your head now.
So we are looking at creating a human resource which allows us to have a fit army which can serve in all terrains. If you have a candidate who has knock knees, we need to detect it early at this time, because when they undergo a strenuous training in the hilly terrain, when they have to run long distances with their weapons, they have an abnormal strain on their knees, which may start affecting their joints. From initially itself, we need to be sure that they will not have an abnormality which will interfere in performance of their efficient duties.
Maintain this posture till I tell you. Up, the thigh up please. Heel of your front foot will touch the toe of your back foot while you look straight ahead. Tight, tight, tighter. Fine. Don't break my fingers. A soldier needs to have a keen eyesight. You need to spot the enemy from far and shoot him from far. If you do not have good eyesight, you will be a very bad target, or rather you'd be a very good target for the others.
DHLEN CTPALO.
The other things which people do not realize is color perception. We are born thinking this is blue, this is red, this is green. We do not know what exactly is red color. Is it the same as what others see? So the eye specialists have specific charts with which they can check the color perception of an individual.
Let's say somewhere in the jungles, if a person is properly camouflaged, so to have good color vision, one is able to differentiate between the minor color hues and probably detect, and this could be the difference between life and death for a person once he's in the field.
$85.
A soldier must have a sound sense of hearing in both the ears. The ear canal and eardrums should be free of any damages and deformities.
42. 41. 45.
A soldier must be able to clearly hear a wide range of sounds, from a low whisper to a loud bang and all the other sounds in between. The ability to hear clearly can often mean the difference between life and death, victory and defeat in combat situations. The capability to detect the source and direction of sound can be useful in locating targets and estimating their distance for launching attacks.
थोड़ी देर में रिजल्ट आने वाला है मेडिकल का, जो बताएंगे कि कौन बाहर है कौन अंदर है या
देखो, I'm anxious.
Why so serious?
The medical board is ready with the results. All the 15 candidates are holding their breath, anxiety written all over their face, for there is no way anyone can predict his or her results. Will their bodies let them down now, when they are so close to fulfilling their aspirations? Who all would get to be a part of Mission Army's Final 5? And how many of them would be packing their bags for the journey back home? The medical board is ready with the verdict.
They have found your cardiac murmur in your heart, that you got an extra sound. Unfortunately, we'll have to make you unfit for it. You will not be able to continue with this.
Thank you. I'm unfit. Cardiac murmur. So that was the reason they stated for me being medically unfit.
I must congratulate you. You're fit.
Oh, thanks. You're fit. All this.
You're fit.
Thank you, sir.
To undergo the course, Mission Army.
Thank you, sir.
It was good. I'm declared medically fit. I'm really excited.
You have a condition known as hyperhidrosis, that is excessive sweating. You see, unfortunately, you will not be able to do things like holding a weapon, climbing up a rope, the palms get slippery. Okay, Sayyid Yasin, right?
Yes, sir.
And I must tell you that in all other specialities, things are okay.
Yes, sir.
Except that there's a bit of a problem with the hearing.
Yeah, left ear.
So from the Army's point of view and also from Mission Army's point of view, I'm sorry, we'll have to declare you medically unfit.
It's time to go home for those who couldn't match up to the Army's medical standards. Mission Army is now left with 10 fully fit youngsters who can take in the grind. But are they all really fighting fit for the journey ahead?